This video is for media outlets that are considering a segment to benefit businesses and business executives, helping them to survive the COVID-19 pandemic and the economic fallout from the quarantine that followed. The content involves 8 accelerating trends which make up the acronym SALVAGED. That stands for self-sufficiency, analytics, liquidity, virtualization, automation, government, exponential thinking, and decentralization. So just taking a top-line view initially about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the current situation. The good, we have one common shared enemy around the entire world, which means we're going to have a lot of solutions coming, and we're seeing renewed kindness, which is something we haven't seen in a while. The bad, well, headline news of death and carnage for months. We're in a deep recession already, and the incredible unemployment that has come as a result of this situation. And the ugly, of course, untold human suffering. And I have to say that depending on how this unfolds, the credit-based monetary system could collapse, and so could the European Union. I'm not saying they will, but they certainly could. You should know that I earn most of my living as a professional speaker. I speak at conferences really all around the world. I've had a chance to share my thoughts in a variety of venues, and I generally cover technology trends and disruptive innovation. But of course, in this video, we're talking about the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. And I'd like to start with a simple reality, which is that change equals opportunity. This is a horrible situation. There's a lot of suffering. We all acknowledge that. But as business people, we need to look for the opportunity and how can we survive, pivot, and rebuild after this crisis is over. So let's go through these 8 trends quickly. Again, this is an abbreviated version. Number 1, self-sufficiency. The trends we can see there is an accelerated adoption of solar panels, off-grid living, survival kits. Chicken hatcheries are booming because people want to have chickens in their backyard rather than going to the store to buy them. Libertarian political views are on the rise, and so are conspiracy theorists. So as a business executive, can you help people live off-grid and become more self-sufficient? Think about your business. What's the opportunity? Number 2, analytics. We've seen the importance of analytics as we diagnose this pandemic spreading around the world. Where is it? Where is it growing? Where is it growing the fastest? And so on. So the trends we can see for business is number 1, data is the most valuable asset you have. Making data-driven decision-making is critical. The Internet of Things is playing a pivotal role with the sensors accumulating that data, and also the data visualization tools helping us to understand that data, all of which help us map the customer journey and provide products and services for our customers, knowing exactly the situation that they're in at this particular moment in time. So as a business executive, how can you leverage data more effectively in your business? Number 3, liquidity. Liquidity is job number 1. Cash is survival. And for the foreseeable future, certainly for the rest of 2020, the number 1 question that executives need to ask is, does this enhance liquidity or does it detract from liquidity? The one thing all businesses will need is more cash on hand. So we'll see higher balance sheet cash balances for companies across the economy. And of course, we've already seen enormous central bank intervention, again, providing liquidity for the markets. So as an executive, how can you maximize your cash position or help your customers do the same? Number 4, virtualization. This is the obvious result of this quarantine. We're going to see people working from home wherever possible. Events are going to be virtualized. Education is going to be virtualized. Activities, almost everything you can imagine is going to be virtualized to the extent possible. We're going to see more online adaptive learning platforms, which will probably require less testing. Virtual reality and mixed reality providers will inevitably benefit from this situation because they'll make virtual environments more engaging and more dynamic. So as a business executive, can your products or services help people thrive in virtual environments? Again, look for the opportunity. Number 5 is automation. This trend started 40 years ago and it's going to accelerate at this point. We've all heard of robotic process automation already. We're going to see accelerated adoption of drone technology, anything that minimizes human proximity and automate repetitive tasks. We've already seen retail self-checkout in grocery stores and Costco, Trends like that are guaranteed to accelerate in the years ahead. As a business executive, can you automate your business or help your customers do so themselves? Number 6 is government. Whether you love government or hate government, the reality is that they're getting a lot more power as a result of this situation. Arguably, that's a good thing. We need government leadership, but as a business person, whether you like government or not, that's something that's happening. It's also happening for global organizations like the World Health Organization, the United Nations, the IMF, and so on. We've already given up a lot of personal freedoms as a result of this situation. We've seen ideas floated, including vaccine registries, so you can know right away if the person you're speaking with has had their vaccines or not. We've had proposals for a digital dollar, a cryptocurrency replacement for the US dollar. None of that legislation has passed yet, but it could in the future. We've already seen monetary and fiscal stimulus, and that will certainly continue in the months and years ahead. Can you sell products or services to support government programs? Again, whether you like government or not, government has a lot of money and they're spending it aggressively to try and get through this crisis. So as a business person, can you sell products or services that support their objectives? If so, that could result in a growth opportunity for you. Number 7, exponential thinking. Wow, for the first time, we have the entire public truly understanding exponential growth, something that hasn't happened before. As human beings, we're hardwired to think in linear terms. But today, people understand how an exponential growth curve can unfold. That's relevant to climate change. It's relevant to technology. It's relevant to investments. And inevitably, it will affect your business strategy. So as a business executive, can you embrace exponential thinking in your business strategy and also in your marketing? Last but not least is number 8, decentralization, which is a central tenet of my book, Anarchy, Inc., which you saw at the beginning of this video. The trends include economic decentralization, social, political. We're going to see decentralized management in companies. No longer do you need to hire someone who lives in the same city as your head office, because more and more people will be working virtually. So there are fewer proximity limitations for businesses today than there were just a few months ago. It's also affecting hybrid cloud edge computing as people distribute their processing power and their data storage over a network of data centers rather than housing it all in a single data center. It's important to note here that Amazon Web Services runs over 30% of the cloud. They are also looking to diversify and have more and more data centers, some of them smaller in size, closer to the customer. As a business executive, can you capitalize on decentralization in your management and also in your value proposition? These questions are designed to help you navigate this pandemic and look for opportunities for your business to survive and grow. Again, this 8 different trends we looked at: self-sufficiency, analytics, liquidity, virtualization, automation, government, exponential thinking, and decentralization. Remember, change is opportunity. The one thing we have a lot of right now is change, and the formula for a successful business is to find a problem and fix it. We have more problems than ever before. So this is an opportunity for businesses to stake their claim and benefit as a result of this situation, and I hope this content helps. Thanks for watching, and stay healthy.